Hi guys, I'm so sorry that I'm late. I set up, was ready to go, and then I started getting bombarded by emails that I had to take care of. Some business that I'm having trouble with, and everything just came at once, and I had to take care of them. So I apologize, and I'm ready to go. So let's get it started. Every time I'm supposed to go live, I get flooded with calls and emails that I have to take care of, unfortunately. But that's why I hate to give a definitive time. And whenever I'm able to, I just go live because it's just anytime I schedule it, something always comes up and I have to take care of it. And then it looks like I'm very inconsiderate and tardy, which I'm trust me, I take time out to do what I have to do, but then things interfere. So I try, but I can't schedule it. I just have to go live because every time I do, uh, I end up being late, and I don't like being late, and I don't like um, seeming like I'm inconsiderate of other people's time. So I just, I'm frustrated. I'm sorry because of everything that just happened. And I'm not even finished, but I had to come and just start the live because I said I would start at a certain time and it was getting, look at that. It's almost 5 o'clock. That's disgusting. I'm so frustrated. But so next time, guys, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go live on Friday evening, or I'm gonna go live on Saturday evening. I'm not gonna give a time anymore because I can't seem to make the time because every time I do, I get bombarded with stuff that I need to take care of. So let's see. Hi, I'm. Can you see my? I did it landscape. Is it weird to you guys? I don't know because I the the views for my the views for the chat. I have to go like this to read it. So I don't know how it looks, you know, to you guys, but to me, I'm seeing myself in landscape. Let's see. Hi, Ria. Hi, Mikkel. I can't pronounce your name, number two. It's weird. Okay, I'll turn it around because okay, how is that now? Is that better? Ah, well, I'm supposed to be doing a live reaction to The Walking Dead season 6 episode. Oh, it's better. Riyadh, thank you so much for letting me know. Season 6 episode 8. Okay. A woman never tells that. That's her secret to keep. Okay, do you guys watch The Walking Dead? Okay, let's begin. Okay. Okay, that's Sam leaving his dinner plate at the top of the stairs. Bring it down to the kitchen, kid. You don't have any maids in here. But his mother is not parenting, so that's why he can do that and get away with it. She's too busy chasing Rick Grimes. I'm in Los Angeles, South LA, Southern Cal, not South LA. Where did I get South LA from? Southern California. You can call me Hey You. Mikkel, you're in Germany? What time is it there now? And there are ants crawling up on his window because he has, there it is, a plate of cookie. His food is just laying there on the carpet in his room. Because again, his mother is not mothering. His mother is not paying attention to him. And it's swarming the cookie just like the zombies are swarming, are going to be swarming the neighborhood. 1:50 p.m. or a.m., Mikkel? Hi, Rashida. Thank you for coming by. Did you stop by earlier? I did a whole spiel apologizing for being so late. Oh, thank you, Rashida. The intro is playing right now. Yes, Rashida, I set up, got ready to start at 4, and I got bombarded with calls and emails that I had to take care of. And there goes the watchtower down on the fence, bringing the fence down, and the walkers are coming in. You don't? So is it night or morning? No, it's not okay, Rashida, because it's not fair. Because if I say 4 and people get ready and come 4 and there's nobody, because I didn't start till like 4:48. And I was so frustrated and so upset about it. Let me pause. The walkers are walking into the Alexandria. I got upset about it because, if I tell someone I'm going to be there, I want to be there. It's very inconsiderate of other people's time, for them to come, show up, and no one is there. There's no live. So, and that's why I don't like to give a time. I know others need the time because they want to see, uh, because of the time difference, they want to see when they'll be able to, and if they'll be able to join me for the live. But I think from now on, I'm just gonna say Friday evening or Saturday evening or whatever, because I can I can get on the live when I can get on the live, because it seems every time I give a time, I get bombarded and have to take care of business, and then I end up inconveniencing you guys, which is not fair. So from now on, I'm not going to give a time. I'm just going to give a, say in the evening on Friday, a day, and around the time of day, not the specific timing. And maybe then I won't get bombarded, because it's so weird. Every time I give a time, that happens. Okay, so it's dawn of it's Saturday. It's the 13th for you. We're still in the we're still in Friday, December 12th. Mikkel. Hi, Tom Daniel. Hi, Ranjita. Hi, Enzo Luis. Thank you, Enzo. So, yeah, you're in Saturday morning. Wow, you're in tomorrow. You're ahead of the game. You're this slow poke is way behind you, Mikkel. And Rashida, I just wanted to say that 12. It's your birthday today, Rashida? Oh my gosh. Everyone, please say happy birthday to Rashida. Oh my God, happy birthday, Rashida. That's so special that you're spending part of your birthday with us. That's great. Well, 12/12 is a wonderful day because Rashida was born in that day. That's so wonderful, Rashida. Happy birthday to you, sweetheart. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, we have to make this special for you, Rashida. I started right before you came, I was discussing how neglectful, what's her name? Um Jessie. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. How neglectful next Jessie is. Sam took his food, his plate of food, and left it at the top of the stairs. I was just like, kid, get downstairs and put your food, in the sink. Put your plate, your used plate in the sink. Get rid of the scraps in the garbage and put the rest in the sink. And then they showed the ants swarming the window because he had cookies laying on the floor and they were swarming it. And I was just like, this woman, her kid can just leave his plate there. She brings his food up there right there and he can eat and put it there. That shows how neglectful she is. She's too busy chasing Rick Grimes, to take care of her kid. And subsequently, what's going to happen? I put it on her. I put it on her. If she's not parenting her child. She's letting her child dictate to her what is what. It was your birthday yesterday? Oh, wow, Mikkel. All these fabulous December birthdays. Yes, yes, Rashida. It does sound like Lori. But, Lori was a bit, yeah, because they wanted to be the center of attention. So it was not about being mindful and taking care of your responsibility. It's responsibility. Lori and Jesse's like, who is tending to me? They wanted to be the center of attention. They wanted the attention on themselves. They were very self-centered human beings. The only time I saw Lori sacrifice was for Judith, and it wasn't even totally selfless. Her sacrifice, she gave up before the birth happened. A lot of people don't recognize this or acknowledge this, but she gave up when she got intimation from Rick that he didn't want to move forward with her in a relationship. Remember the divorce talk on the bridge of the prison? And, and she was like, oh, well, at least we don't have to get it, the divorce lawyers. What are we going to do? Separate our assets, blah, blah, blah. And he just basically told her, we are grateful. So he's telling her the group is grateful that she helped save Herschel. And you could see, the disappointment in her face. It felt like a dagger in her heart because it was Rick saying, I'm just not there. I can't be who you want me to be. I can't, he betrayed her. And that betrayal, that was deep. And he hadn't come back from that betrayal. And he had distanced himself from her. So she wanted him to be back, catering to her, being all about her, being in love with her. He still loved her, but he was no longer in love with her. And she got that loud and clear. And for a narcissist who wants to her supply, she wants to be the center of that person's attention, she realized that Rick was not going to be catering to her that way anymore. So she gave up. Remember, after that conversation with Rick, she then had a conversation with Herschel, telling Herschel that if anything happens, to kill her. and kill the baby because, if the baby died in her, died in her, in case it became a walker, all of that stuff. She just didn't, she gave up because she was like, he hates me to Herschel. He hates me. And Herschel was like, no, give him a little time. He doesn't hate you. And then she started talking about kill her if anything. So it told me she didn't want to go on anymore. And it was all about Rick not being into her that way anymore. And with that, she'd given up and didn't want to go on anymore. So the her easily letting go when she was having birth with Judith, and she said you have to do the C-section. Lori had given up already because she knew she didn't want to go on in a world where Rick wasn't in love with her. She knew he loved her, but he was no longer in love with her, and she couldn't imagine a world where she wasn't the center of Rick Grimes' world. And so she gave up. That's what I clearly saw when she went to Herschel and started talking that talk. She gave up. She wanted to leave this world. She no longer wanted to be in a world where she was not the center of attention, for Rick Grimes. And so, Rick was no longer in love with her. So she didn't want to continue. So that's when she sacrificed herself for Judith. So, but it wasn't completely selfless. So here we have another woman who their child is in need. Their child needs their attention, and it's all about her. It's all about, she has no time to focus and give her child the help he needs. Would you do this for anyone else? It's all about, so she's too busy paying attention to Rick Grimes to notice her kid is losing it. Why is she catering to him, putting food at the top of the stairs for him and allowing him to stay cowered in his room? It's because she doesn't want to deal with it. She don't have time to deal with it, but she has time to question and demand things of Rick Grimes. So there you go. And the other one is turning murderous, and she doesn't know. She doesn't know because she doesn't care to know, because she's not focused on them. She's focused on herself. So yes, Rashida is just like Lori. Jesse is another Lori, and that's why Rick so quickly identified her with Lori and was so used to her and was so confident approaching her. As another thing, guys, I did a video, I finished the video on Jesse and Rick and Jesse. So I'm going to quickly, it's going to be a quick edit because I'm just going to talk to you. Because any video to support what I'm saying, I'm actually going to do it differently. I'm going to do a versus video. So, and I'm not going to do a long video so it takes forever. I'm going to do certain points, and it's going to be with Lori versus Michonne in the terms of their relationship with Rick. So I'll just do like short snippets and say what that's about. And I'm going to do that with Jesse also and Michonne. So instead of taking more time and curating and editing, finding the clips and adding them to the video that I already filmed. I already filmed it. I'm just going to edit the filmed video with me explaining to you about Rick and Jesse. And I'm going to post that on Patreon first. And then after that, I'm going to start doing short clips of showing you different scenarios where I show you how Rick was with Lori versus how he was with Rick, Michonne in specific situations. Same thing with Jesse and Rick. So I'm looking forward to do that, but everything is going to go to Patreon first. So I'm hoping to finish I was editing episodes. uh I was trying to edit down the live episodes to put on Patreon, edit so it focuses on the episode or mostly on the episode. I was doing that. One of the 4-hour videos, the 4-hour lives are long. So that's why I'm currently trying to do one of that, finish that, and then edit the Jesse and Rick video to put on Patreon. So I'm working on that, guys. So a lot of good stuff are coming. And I wanted to get the Jessie video out soon because we're finishing up her arc. And I'm going to post that either this weekend, if not by Monday, hopefully. Because as soon as I'm done with the Jessie video, I'm going to start working on the Rick and Michonne video, and also the snippets, the comparison snippet videos. So I want to get those going, but I want to put up the Jesse video first so that it's to wrap up a lot of the stuff we've been saying about in this arc. So looking forward to that. Hey, Cam J's here, and Diane Sugg is here also. Hey, Diane. Hey, Lego. Yes, Rashida. I'm gonna I have that video ready to go. I'm gonna edit it and post it. You know what? I'm editing right now the Morgan episode. I don't remember if it's episode 4. That's what I'm editing, and then I was gonna move on to episode 5, but I'm just gonna finish up the Morgan episode, then put out the Jesse and Rick video since we're on episode 8, and that arc is coming to an end. So yeah, we just started Cam J and Diane. So the tower fell on the fence and the walkers are swarming in just like they were swarming Sam's cookie. But I went on a rant about Jessie because she's neglecting her child. And it segued into Lori because Rashida brought up that was how Lori was too, because she was so focused on herself and Shane and Rick paying attention to her that she didn't. Rick is screaming for everyone to get into their house. Look at Ron had the gun out ready to shoot Carl. Why is Rick shooting? That's not doing anything, Rick. Deanna is just wasting bullets. Thank you, Rashida. What did Carol trip over? So Deanna fell trying to help Rick. When Rick had told her, get inside, and Rick wasn't in danger. So she just fell, and those two walkers fell in her, and I guess that's where they bit her. I didn't see the bite. I just saw the saw go into her side. But Yeah, that's another unnecessary death. And usually it comes about when people are not listening. The people that they're trying to help. I was editing the live for the Morgan episode, and how what's his name died, Eastman, and that stupid death because he's trying to save Morgan from walkers that weren't going to, Morgan could was able to handle it. And of course Morgan is telling him to leave, um don't help me or whatever, but he wasn't listening. And usually, so these people won't listen and try to handle things and get bit. So that's how she got bit. She wouldn't listen. Hi, Nemesis. Who is this? Oh, Maggie. Why is everybody falling? They're tripping over nothing. They're literally tripping over nothing. Hi, Freddie. Yeah. Glenn was a G. Oh, they're the balloons. Did she see them? Hold on. I just saw the balloons. Did she see them? Okay. He's like health, and he has the machete that he could have just chopped. So Michonne, I heard Rick, and the first thing Rick says, and there comes Michonne running, and he said, "Good, you're safe." And then Carl and Ron and Gabriel brought up the rear, and it's like, so Rick is so her safety was on his mind. Maybe he saw Carl too, but the first it was her voice, and then Carl came up on the rear. Come on, Michonne. Oh, please. Jesse comes in with shooting. I wouldn't trust her shooting. The bullet might hit me. Look at her randomly. So she tells them, "Come on," and brings them to her house. Okay, now there, as they run into her house, the street in front of her house is clear. There's no walkers. Yet just like a millisecond before she starts shooting and says, "Here," they were surrounded. Her little pop pop didn't kill all those walkers around them. So again, the directing. Where's the continuity? Who is the script supervisor? It was Diane said it was Eugene's voice Daryl heard on the walkie. Did he press the walkie when he said help? See, they're swarming Alexandria like the ants swarm Sam's cookie. Rashida says, hold on. Rashida says it was very sloppily done. I knew it when I first seen it back in the day. With Jesse wasn't believable. Pop, pop. I'm like, girl, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them dropped because she was just like, and for the few that came around, Michonne's sword could swipe them out. So they weren't overrun because there wasn't that much around them. And her little pop pop and they ran into her house, then the street was empty. If you want to say that she saved them from impending doom, make it look like impending doom. Rashida said it was very okay. Cam J say thanks, Diane. I didn't know that. And here is what's his name? Glenn and Eden looking at the walkers going in from the collapsed wall.
Walkers are flooding into the east wall. That means that the west wall will be the first to clear up. That's how we get in. Just because the tower's down doesn't mean that...
Oh, brother. Eden
are still alive.
And Glenn.
This is how it happens. And it always happens, Glenn.
We're still here. Our friends are in there. People who care about you. My pregnant wife. You just want to run away? Be afraid? Forget about this? Just go.
Now he's saying just go?
But that's how you lose people. Even after they're gone.
Look at Sam's face. The kid is traumatized.
It's gonna be okay. No, honey, just try. Just pretend. Okay, just pretend that you're somebody who's not scared. Just try.
Just pretend that you're somebody who is not scared. Just try. Just stay up here and look. She and Carol, because it's not just her. Both of them are responsible for this kid's death. His trauma for what Carol put in his head, and his mother for not help him to deal with this trauma. It's obvious this kid is going through. Look at his eyes. Look at him hiding out, and she's allowing him to hide out. And now she's telling him, just pretend that you're not scared. He's scared. Help him. Oh my goodness.
Okay. I love you.
Rick and Michonne dealing with Deanna, and then who passes by with the baby? Who was that? With Judith.
I love you.
Oh, Carl. And he shuts the door and hides away with his trauma. And now here comes Carol and what's his name? Morgan. I can't deal with them.
Let me take a look at that.
No. Fine.
You don't trust anybody, do you?
Some more than others. But you're dead last.
At least we're being honest.
I don't trust you, but I never thought you were lying. How is it out there?
Full in the streets.
Diane says, thank you for including Carol. Thank you for including, Diane says, thank you for including Carol in Sam's being so traumatized. Yeah, Diane, it's the truth, you know, and people don't acknowledge it enough. Rashida says, Sam is listening to the song Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Is that what it is? Rashida, what kind of lyrics does that song have? It sounds like one of those really, really old songs, you know, when recording was like everything is ooh, that trembling voice. That's how you know some recordings are really old, like the original Snow White. They sang with that tremor in their voice. Someday, my prince. I remember that song because I went to Disney World and I was staying at one of their hotels. And I remember I called down to room service and that was the song that came on. It was Someday, my prince. It's really tremor. I was like, whoa, this is hella old. 1920s. Okay, really old. Well, Cam J says 1920s. The birthday girl says it's from the 1960s. I forgot the man's name. He plays a ukulele. That doesn't sound like a ukulele, Rashida. So the one that you're talking about from the 60s might be a re-recording because this one sounds like the 20s as Cam J intonates because that old form of singing with the tremor. Well, Cam Jason, you're like the birthday girl. Rashida is likely correct. But I don't hear a ukulele.
Down before you fall down.
I am okay.
Carol, whatever we have to settle can wait. It has to. I don't think he's coming back. Do you think he's coming back?
Denise and the wolf.
We can talk, right? You don't have to be afraid. Talk.
There's injured people out there. Have patience. I shouldn't be here.
None of you should.
What about you?
What about me?
After the things you've done, you belong here?
Yes. What do you think I've done?
You've killed people.
We freed them. And then we were just going to use what was left. You came here without knowing what this was, right? That Morgan had me here.
He said he wouldn't let you go until he was sure you wouldn't kill again.
It's just an infection. I was breaking into a car. I cut myself on a rusty bumper. Just like that. It's not unfair or just. Nothing's unfair anymore. It might not kill me, but it might. I've done my part. The world will take care of the rest.
What's
Don't
this?
change.
What's this guy's philosophy? It makes no sense. He's freeing people. Freeing people from what? Or to what?
Show me the wound.
And then why doesn't he free himself? Why doesn't he, why is he killing others to free them, yet he gets to stay alive?
You weren't born this way. You changed. You can change.
Rashida said Tiny Tim, a big hit in 1968. It was made from a vaudeville song. There's too many people in the apocalypse that wanted to go Pharaoh willingly.
No offense to Michonne, but whatever she's doing hurts like a son of a bitch. I just finished with the leg. And that seems to be the worst of.
Michonne found the bite on Deanna. She thought the leg wound, I guess that's where the saw hit, was the worst of it.
Well. Shit.
Leave her sitting in. She doesn't have long. She knows how it happens, right? All of it.
Yeah, she knows.
She's cracking jokes.
Frank. She would.
Look at that. She has the same remember that expression that we were cracking up about. Rick is telling Jesse that Deanna has a fever, and then he said it won't be long, and then he asks Jesse if Deanna knows how it happens, the progression, and she said yes, Deanna knows. And Rick looked, it's like, well, wow, he came to like Deanna. So then she looks at him with this expression, and I'm not going to do the expression because it's just going to make me laugh. It's the same expression she has for everything. I can't even, what word would you guys come up with or what word would you use to describe this ridiculous look that Jessie always has on her face? This one expression she uses to intimate sadness, to intimate confusion, to intimate passion, to intimate determination. She uses the same expression for everything. Puppy dog. The birthday girl got it. Can I do something to to let's see. Rashida, I wanted to do some kind of effect, like have balloons going up or hearts going up to tell you, you know, to give you the award for coming up with a perfect description for Jesse's expression. Puppy dog expression. Mono expression, Cam J says, but I too, Cam J say I love puppy dog expression. I love that because it's perfect. The birthday girl deserves all the cakes and all the rewards and all the gifts, the presents. Perfect, perfect answer, Rashida. Puppy dog expression. She's I can't take her seriously because it's the same expression for everything. So here she puts her hand on Rick's face. 'Cause what is she saying to Rick? Why she puts her hand on his face?
She's cracking jokes.
Oh, Rick says she's cracking jokes. And the puppy dog expression. Rick.
She wouldn't have run.
Okay, guys, you saw that? All Rick says was he's sad about Deanna, and he says she's cracking jokes, and she Rick, she wouldn't have run. What is she implying? What does that have to do with what Rick just said? And why did she have to touch his face? She touched his face and then had her hand linger on his chest, and he didn't reciprocate. And so she had to take her hands down. That's one of the verses I want to show you, guys. Anytime Michonne touches Rick, Rick is like an octopus. Rick not only reciprocates the exact touch, but his hands finds different places to touch. He wants to be connected to her. This woman is caressing Rick. Timing is not appropriate for this, by the way. But she's caressing Rick, and Rick does not reciprocate. I keep telling you guys, Rick is not into Jessie. He's not into her that way. A lot of people saw this arc and saw what Rick was doing with Jessie, acting around Jessie, and thought this was him wanting Jessie romantically for himself. No. Rick doesn't want this woman. She's now free, and he's not glumming onto her. Right? Let me see. Hold on.
Fever's sitting in. She doesn't have long. She's cracking jokes.
I wanted to see who was there first, if she came and followed him or whatever, but they didn't show it. They started a scene there. But I'm telling you, Rick is not into this woman, right? It's if a guy is into you, he has now Pete is gone. People were like, he's trying to get rid of Pete so he could be with her. After Pete was gone, Rick pulled back. Rick pulled back. He was never what he wanted from this woman who reminds him so much of Jessie reminds him so much of Lori. And remember what we were talking about not too, at the beginning of this live, that she's self-centered just like Lori. That's why she's neglecting her son. he sees Lori in this woman, and it brought back, he's in full PTSD, full paranoia, and that just fed into it. And he used her to try to assuage his guilt. She was perfect for what his PTSD was feeding. In that, she reminded him of Lori. She was in a setting, and the situation around her and what she was doing was just like with how he was with Lori, and she came attached with a threat. And the thing that was guilting him was that he could not protect Lori from her threat. And here he found a way for a do-over. You see, with the Morgan episode, that we found out that he was going, the psychiatrist Eastman, the forensic psychiatrist Eastman, diagnosed Morgan with PTSD, and what that Morgan was trapped, and what was Morgan trapped in? He kept clearing. He kept trying to do over his trauma to try to fix the outcome. You can't change the past, but that's what he was trying to do. Redoing his trauma, trying to resolve his guilt. Maybe if he cleared, maybe if he got rid of the threats, then his son would not have died. And so he keeps doing it over and over. His PTSD, because his mind is trying to get out from under that burden of guilt. And that's the way he's trying to just redoing over and over. Here, he walked into Alexandria full of paranoia and PTSD. And here was somebody who was the embodiment of Lori. And it was perfect. She came with a threat. And here he got a chance to do over. So he got rid of the threat. The do-over for him was getting rid of the threat. He got rid of the threat. And remember how frantic he was trying to get her to give in so he could get rid of the threat? That was what all it was about. He was panicked, he was frustrated, he was angsty, he blocked out everything. Nothing mattered to him but getting rid of the threat. When Carl tried to stop him, he flung Carl away. You know, Carl is Rick's beating heart. So for him to push his son away, for him to not even see what's going on with Carl, and there's nobody more observant than Rick. Probably the only person that comes close is Michonne. And he's not even seeing what's going on with Carl because he was so focused on, that's it. He was obsessed. That was what Rick was in love with, getting rid of the threat, because that's what was feeding his PTSD, his guilt. So here he is, obsessed about doing that do-over. And people think that obsession was about milquetoast Jesse, puppy dog expression Jesse. When Rick finally got his satisfaction, if Rick could have had an orgasm after he shot Pete, right? That was his orgasm. He finally got his obsession, and he got rid of Pete, the threat. After that, Rick calmed down. Rick wasn't spaced out or glazed or whatever. His PTSD calmed down. He got some satisfaction. His guilt was fed. Morgan got that by clearing. I must clear. He just kept clearing. Rick got rid of the threat. He got to kill the threat. He saw the threat dead. He didn't see the threat dead with Andre, and it came back and bit him in the butt. So he got rid of the threat. After that, he was avoiding Jesse. She was the one started. She was angry because he was avoiding her. She was upset with him. He calmed down. He wasn't obsessed. He wasn't looking. That was what he was into. And here is another example. The woman caressed him and had her hand linger and fall on his chest. And he just looked at her. He didn't reciprocate. I'm going to show you when Michonne touches Rick, Rick becomes an octopus. Here, waist, butt. Rick is like, and he repeats, he mirrors Michonne. He reciprocates because that's the woman he's in love with. Rashida said no, Rick did not respond to her touch at all. Cam J says, I was wondering about that exchange. Cam J says, I don't understand what Jesse meant by she wouldn't have run. It makes no sense. That's I was like, what? In response to what Rick is talking about. See? She's just saying something to say something. You know what it is? They're not connected. And she wants to be connected. And she doesn't really understand what he's saying and what he's implying. Michonne would understand and understand where he's coming from. And she just says something to seem like she is, it's just like when he was talking about, fearing for Glenn and Sasha and Abraham. He's worried about them not returning. And he was talking about that. And this woman, it's just like she started talking nonsense. And Rick just, all right, kissed her to shut her up. And, it was like a pity kiss, first of all. And it was just like, they're not connecting. Marianne says, I do not like Jesse. She's, look at this expression. This is the expression she has for everything. Hold on, let me close the blinds. I have the blinds open. Hold on. The same puppy dog expression. Can you imagine looking at that every day? And that's who people want for Rick Grimes. I cannot even copy that expression. Hi, Vilma. Look, it's just like, yes. I can't even do it. It's just like, I can't even do it. Cam J says, I wonder if the actress who played Jessie questioned the writers about that line. I doubt it. I doubt it, Cam J. She was just so happy for this job that, and she was campaigning to stay on, even though, what's his name? Gimple's like, no, I'm sorry. She was campaigning, to but she went on to get a different job after this. I didn't watch it. It was in This Is Us. And now she has another series. And so good for her. Because she bought a house hoping to continue on The Walking Dead. And Gimple panicked. He was like, no, 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 no. Hey, Vilma. Diane said the woman does not know how to emote. Must have drove the director crazy. Well, not the director. Uh, our favorite. Well, not my favorite director. He wanted her from. He liked her for Rick because he's into blondes. So and he did not want Michonne for Rick at all. And he made it obvious in many ways. So, he didn't care what if she could act or not or emote or not. She was blonde and that was good enough for him. Hi Constant. Yay! Constant, it's Rashida's birthday. This is the same expression over and over.
Rick, she wouldn't have run.
We have food to last us a while. They're bound to cluster up by then, move off to one area.
Wow.
When they do, I'll try and get to the armory. Draw them away.
With guns.
Flares.
Wow, guys.
Open the gate, fire them off. See if I can get them somewhere. Somewhere that's not here.
The plans that you gave Rick. I'm looking them over.
Wow, guys. I know he didn't respond, but that was cold of Rick. Oh my God. I told you he was not into her. He did not. He's in love. He's in love with Michonne. He's in love. There's a woman that he wants. Yes, he doesn't think she wants him back, but it doesn't stop him from being in love. And this woman, like, sort of trapped him into being with her, but he doesn't want to be with her. And if she had lived and it continued, he would have made it clear that it wouldn't work out because he was cold here. He didn't reciprocate at all. He kept his hands tight to his body. I was like, at some point, I was like, at least, reach, just reach. You didn't have to reciprocate that way, but reached out a little. No. Wow. I would have felt away if I did that and there was nothing given back to me. And he gave her nothing. Watch this scene, guys. Watch this scene.
With guns.
Flare. Off to one area.
He just went on to business to discuss how he would get trying to get the herd away from Alexandria.
Rick.
Okay, let me see. How can I do this? Okay, look at this guy. Look at this, guys.
She's cracking jokes.
Rick. She wouldn't have run.
We have food to last us a while. They're bound to cluster up by then, move off to one area. When they do, I'll try and get to the armory. Draw them away.
With guns.
Flares. I'll open the gate, fire them off. See if I can get them somewhere. Somewhere that's not here.
The plans that you gave Rick. I've been looking them over.
he kept his hand anchored to his belt, tight to his like this. He kept his hands like this. Like, you know, I don't have a belt to hook my thumbs in, but he kept his hands like this. After she did all of that to him, he didn't touch her or anything. He kept his hands close to his body. That's in body language, that's closed off. He's closed off. He's fit like this onto his body, his belt, away. I told you guys. He doesn't even want her. He doesn't even want her to, as some guys would just use her because she's throwing herself at him. He doesn't want her in that way. He wanted her in the terms of using her as a Lori proxy to do over getting rid of the threat to Lori in order to assuage his guilt. That's what he wanted her for. That's it. That's what he was using her. He never wanted her in any way romantically. Rashida said, this is how real life is also. That's a red flag that Jessie ignored. Yeah. There are several that she ignored. You know? The huge lie to her. Would you do this for anyone else? Look what he walked into Alexandria with a baby, with his kids, with a bunch of women and some men. And he called them his family. And they've been together. They did the interview. She knew about that. And yet, right to her face, he lied to her and said he would not try to protect them like she asked him something very selfish, self-centered, and it just screamed narcissist. Would you do this for anyone else? That's what she's saying. You know, she's literally asking him, would you be with me? Are you doing this to be with me? And after he's lied to her, which should be a big red flag to her, she lied to her. She gave him the permission to go after Pete, which Rick has no respect for her. The type of man Rick is, Rick wouldn't have respected her. Giving him permission to kill someone because he's telling her he would only do it for her. He didn't want to answer. He didn't want to lie, but he lied because he was obsessed with getting rid of the threat. So he would do anything. And after that, everything changed. He got rid of his threat and he pulled away. The other huge red flag, Rashida, is he's living with a woman, right? He's living with a woman younger than him, but not young enough to be his daughter. This woman is his partner in the jobs that Deanna gave them. This woman is not the babysitter for Judith. She's not in the house being a, homemaker. Yet she's the only one. This is a woman very attractive. Even if to her, she doesn't see Michonne as beautiful. Michonne is very attractive and very sexy. And always with Rick. And living in Rick's house. All the other women were moved out. Yet this one woman who is not babysitting and who is not being a homemaker for Rick, is living with Rick, with him and his two kids. That's not a red flag to her. I don't care what Rick says. Why is that woman? If I'm pretending, if I want to be in a relationship with a guy and I'm forcing him to be in a relationship with me and he said, okay, I'm going to ask him, what is that woman doing in your house? Who is she to you? She's not your sister. And how comes all the other women, single or not single, are not living with you? When it's time to babysit, it's one of the other women, Carol, right? So it's not like he's using just the homemakers in Alexandria. One of his group, one of the women babysits the baby. Yet he lives with one of the women, a younger woman, a hell of a sexy younger woman. That's a huge red flag. She doesn't ask him. She doesn't ask him about Michonne. When they're all in a room together, when they were all discussing the plan, there was Michonne up front. He didn't even, he didn't give Jesse any special attention. But Michonne was right there up front with him, discussing the plan. No red. So to me, either she's nervous to ask him about Michonne, or she's doing what some women do. Some women that are entitled, those type, what I'm talking about, very entitled. And we already know she has the main character syndrome, like Lori and Andrea, they have to be the main woman, in that, around the alpha males. I think she tried to dismiss Michonne. She made Michonne invisible to her. And there are people that do that. There are people that do that. She dismissed Michonne and Michonne is invisible to her, because that's a huge red flag. I wouldn't date a man who is living with, who is she? Just your roommate? Why isn't she living in one of the other houses like the other woman in your group? And the way they're always together, they're partnered up together, they're making plans together. She's not babysitting Judith. Something is going on. And that's why I said she made Michonne invisible to her. Because Deanna saw it. Deanna saw it. People are like, oh, Rick was all about Jesse and Jesse. None of his group. She wasn't on their radar. But Michonne is. Deanna. Aaron. Michonne was on Aaron's radar in terms of Rick. Deanna, who Rick was dealing with for about Jesse and Pete. Yet, the person that Deanna saw Rick really with and think there's something going on was Michonne. So for everyone else to see it, even Carol, who was pushing him towards Jesse, saw Rick and Michonne. So for anyone to ignore Rick and Michonne, Sasha saw it. So anyone to ignore Rick and Michonne, they had to deliberately dismiss and pretend like her son Sam that Michonne doesn't exist. In terms of with Rick, how you would view a single able-bodied male and a single able-bodied woman living together, cohabiting together when they didn't have to. because she wasn't providing any service that you could see where Rick needed her per se, right? Why is Michonne living with Rick? That's a huge red flag. And she didn't ask because maybe she knew the answer and she didn't want to hear it. Or just like women like Andrea and Lori, they would, well, Lori would not dismiss Michonne because she would see it. She would see what was there. She, that would have been so, talk about messy. People thought Rick, Lori, and Shane was messy. If Lori was alive, oh my gosh, Rick, Lori, and Michonne would have been hella messy because Rick was no longer in love with Lori, and he is in love with Michonne, and he had moved on from the marriage, even though he loved Lori. Still, he had moved on from the marriage. That would have been messy. And then Carl loving Michonne. Yeah, he loves his mom, and his mom is his mom. But Carl's closeness to Michonne, and then Rick attraction to Michonne, because Rick was attracted from day one. He was hostile, but he was attracted. It would have been messy because Lori would have seen it. Lori, who wants to be the center of attention, would clock it immediately. And she would clock Michonne as a threat. But Michonne would have seen Lori's insecurity and just like, I can't deal with that. So maybe Michonne would have left. Maybe Michonne, because Lori would have engaged in some serious passive aggressive stuff. And Michonne wouldn't stick around for it. She didn't stick around for Andrea's mess, and there was no rivalry for any man, you know. And at that time in the prison, Michonne was not aware that she was into Rick. She was attracted, but she wasn't aware. And I keep explaining this to people. The reason why Michonne wasn't aware is not that Michonne isn't in tune with herself. It's because she's traumatized. And because of the loss that she had with Mike and Andre, Michonne shut down that side of her. So even though she was attracted to Rick, it wasn't conscious to her because she had a wall up. She had a wall up in terms of romance and romantic partnership. I think Michonne, you see how Rick tried to deaden himself to feeling, to his feelings for, he called it dying. He tried to kill that side of him where he cared, where he was attuned to what his heart wanted when he was in the CRM, when he gave up. Michonne closed off that side of herself. She didn't want it anymore because she hurt so much. It hurt her. Michonne died. That's why she was walking with the walker. She considered herself dead to relationships, dead to humanity. She was just existing. So she had walled off that self to her. So that's why she wasn't thinking, oh, Rick, I feel I'm in love with you. I'm attracted to you. Do you love me too? That wasn't going on up here because she had walled off that. Completely walled it off. because I don't know if she did it as a punishment to herself or she was afraid if she opened up back that part of her, the pain of losing Mike and Andre would overwhelm her. So I don't know the motives behind why she was afraid to even look at that side of her. So that's why she wasn't conscious of it. No, Cam J. Carol doesn't live with Rick and Michonne at all. Only Rick and the only person that I questioned if they lived with Rick and Michonne was Daryl. But Daryl never, he didn't stay one place. He was always off. So I don't know where he lived, to tell you the truth. I remember when I was first watching the series, that was a discussion. And people said Rick lived with them. And I was like, how? I've never seen him living at their home. So I'm not sure, but I know Carol didn't live with them. Constance said, yeah, Rick didn't want her, but he persisted in pursuing his past through her. Yes, Constant, exactly. Rashida said, right, Constant, the red flags were there, but Jesse was not paying attention. Cam J said, there is one and only one thing that Jesse said that was intuitive and emotionally responsible, and it happened in this episode. Yes, Cam J, has she said it yet? We're still at the part where I haven't moved on yet, where Michonne and Deanna are gonna speak after Jesse and Rick spoke. Did she say it yet? Rashida says, in that house, isn't it Rick, Carl, Judith, Michonne, Daryl, and maybe Carol? I don't know. I don't think Carol, because remember, Daryl and Carol were the ones that Rick told that they could move on now, that everyone could move on and get their own place. So he said it to Carol and Daryl. So Carol and Daryl doesn't live in Rick's house. It's Rick, Michonne, Judith, and Carl. And we see that. We saw Michonne's room in the future. We see Michonne's room. We see when Negan came for spaghetti, you know, how he went into Rick's room and how they were, yeah, and yeah, it's nobody lives in the house but Rick and Michonne and the kids. Constance said no, no, Carol lives in another house, most likely with Daryl and someone else. Yeah, Daryl and Carol were the ones Rick said, you guys can find a place now. And I, it was understood that he wasn't just speaking about them, but them and everyone else in the group. And that's why I was laughing and said he told everyone to go get a place, yet I'm sure he didn't tell Michonne that. He told Carol and Daryl, and he didn't tell, and everyone else moved out, and he didn't tell Michonne that, because there was no way he was letting Michonne move out. So Michonne's room, Rick's room is upstairs, and Michonne's room is downstairs. So it's Rick. I think it's a 4-bedroom. There's Rick's room, there is Carl's room, Judith has a room, and Michonne's room is downstairs. So where would Carolyn and Daryl sleep? Rashida said, okay, Constant. Rashida said, yes, Lori, Rick, and Michonne. Yeah, that would have been a mess. But interestingly enough, someone asked, and guys, I wish we had archives of The Talking Dead, because, and that's so stupid that AMC doesn't have archives of that show on the channel, because there was an episode where someone asked, a caller called in and asked the question and said, if Lori was alive, who would Rick choose? Would Rick choose Lori or would Rick choose Michonne? And the guest, there were two guests, and I don't remember who the other guest was, but the guest that night was the incomparable Denise Huth. Love Denise Huth. She's an executive producer in The Walking Dead, and she's an executive producer that Andy and Denai brought over to The Ones Who Lived. As a matter of fact, they said that she had retired from producing in the Walking Dead universe. And I don't know if she produces anything else after that, but I guess she was done because it's a lot of work. And uh, they begged her to come out of retirement, begged her. So Denise Huth, she was with The Walking Dead from the very beginning. Great executive producer, great producer, and a lovely woman. I love her. You know who Denise is? If you watched the episode with the governor, he had a picture of his wife and his daughter on his Chester drawer. Denise Huth played the wife in the picture. So that's Denise, very lovely woman. But so they asked the question, if Lori was alive, who would Rick choose, Lori or Michonne? Denise Huth, without hesitation, said Rick would have chosen Michonne. She said Rick was in love with Michonne, very in love with Michonne. And she said Rick and she said not only were Rick and Lori having marriage. Denise said not only were Rick and Lori having marriage issues, were having issues before the apocalypse. She said they were having issues before the apocalypse, but by the time Lori died in the prison, they had divorced. They had an apocalyptic divorce, she said. And so, yes, he didn't hate Lori and he loved Lori. He cared for Lori, but he was in love with Michonne. And she said, no question. She said, no doubt about it. No question about it. Rick Grimes would choose Michonne over Lori. You can't get, I'm telling you, I agree. And I agree with her. And I bet you if you ask Andrew Lincoln, he would agree with Denise because it was clear he loved Lori, but he was in love with Michonne. And Andrew Lincoln, Andy said many times, not once, not twice, but many times, he has done interview. He sat beside that director, that's not my favorite. What's his name? Greg Nicotero, right? He did an interview beside Greg Nicotero, and Andy Lincoln clearly stated Michonne is the love of Rick's life. He said Michonne is the greatest love story of Rick's life. And then he went on to reiterate it on several other interviews. He kept saying Michonne is the love of Rick's life. So I was not surprised that it showed up in The Ones Who Live, where Rick got to state what Andy has been saying throughout his Walking Dead tenure. Once he and Michonne were became a couple, and Andrew Lincoln states unequivocably many times, Michonne is the love of Rick Grimes' life. So there you have it. Constance says, I've never seen any evidence that anyone else lived with Rick, Michonne, and the kids. Gimple had to clarify in an interview that Rick and Michonne lived together because the fans didn't catch on. They're so they're so dense, and they don't see it because they don't want to see. They don't see it because they don't want to see it. And they're very they don't look into things deeply when it comes to Rick and Michonne, because it's not something that they want to invest in. It's not something they're invested in. Those fans, those, you know who I'm talking about, those. Because Rick and Michonne has a legion of fans, and they're very invested, and they see it because they're not trying to unsee it. That's what it is. Constant. Rashida says, Constant, on Comic Con, there's too many things you have to explain that the creators didn't say straight out on the show. Constant says, with the environmental clues like Michonne's katana being in the background, shots of Rick talking in his home. Yeah, Rick and Morgan sitting on the porch where Rick invites Morgan because Morgan says he doesn't have a porch on the house he's living in, and Rick says, come and live with us. And who is us? Michonne walked right out of walked right through the door, the front door, onto the porch where Rick is inviting Morgan to come and live with them, him and Michonne, right? Michonne is casually in the house drinking her tea. Michonne katana hung up on the wall. Rick in his room. Michonne coming upstairs telling come to get him, and Rick sitting down waiting for her to talk to her. And Carl in his room, right? And then when they became a couple, oh yeah, Jesus coming in, sitting on the steps, waiting, telling Carl he's waiting for his mom and dad to join him. And everyone else busting through the front door, not inside the house, busting through the front door to come up the stairs. Michonne laying in the room, laying on the bed, looking at the laundry basket of Noah's clothes. If anyone lived with them, it was Noah. But I wondered, where did he sleep? Because as I said, the only rooms they showed in that house was Michonne's room downstairs, Carl's room, which I didn't really see Carl's room. I saw the baby's room. I saw Judith's room, and I saw I think the room that Rick was sitting on the bed waiting for Carl, maybe that was Carl's room. And we saw Rick's room when he and Michonne were, together on the bed. So no one else, they showed no one else's room. When Rick says, come and live with us, the us was Michonne walking through the door onto the porch. So no one else. Diane said they never said who all lived in the house, but they were given 2 houses. So Diane, why did Rick tell Daryl and Carol that they could move? They could go, they can go out and choose whatever, go out, and they don't have to stay in the house with, where everybody was staying in. Constance said, yeah, the writers thought they ate a lot when they in fact did not. Rashida said, yes, Constance, that I understood on first glance. Diane says, in one episode, Rick invited Morgan to move in with them, but they only showed him on the porch. I was talking about that, Diane. It was them, and then Michonne walked out. That's the them. Cam J said, no, not yet. Oh, so she didn't say it yet. Okay, Cam J, please point it out when we get to that point. This discussion is fascinating. I want to move on, but this discussion is good. Rashida, Constance says, Rashida, the writers could have given away more clarity on who lived where, just with environmental shots, walking to each other's homes and talking. The writers pissed me off a lot in this season anyway. Oh, Constant, don't get me started on the writing. Rashida says, yes, Constant, how many houses are available in this little area in Alexandria? Constance said they could have given more time with us just seeing Rick and Michonne just in a few domestic scenes after they started living together in Alexandria, which would have kept those who didn't see Rich. Thank you. There's so many little things that they could have done, Constant, that they didn't. That's why I said they 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 underwrote and used Rishon as a plot point when it got to when once they were in Alexandria. It was so, I don't know, as I said, I don't know if the writers room changed, but something changed because leading up to it, it was different. And then when they got to episode 6, when they got to the latter part of season 5 and especially episode 6, the writing became so plot driven, and there a lot of moments to breathe were not given. There were not many moments to breathe, and it was just, even the episode they gave to Angela Kang to write the Rishon, it was the Rishon becomes a couple, we're introduced to Jesus. They gave her that episode and she still didn't let them breathe, even though the coming together happened when they breathed in that evening. They should have given more moments to them, not just that morning. So that's what it is. And even before that, in these episodes here, yeah, they're showing you them together, but the reason why they didn't give them so much time to breathe and to even talk about their relationship, even after they became a couple, they didn't give them moments to talk about who they were to each other and what the reason why is because they were using them. They were trying to make it a plot point and as a twist, just like how they did with Glenn. It was a it They were trying to shock the audience. It was for shock factor and twist, and they're like, they're not gonna see Michonne, Rick and Michonne. Let's just shock them the next episode, and boom. So it was a lot of that. It was just a lot of plot points, and let's try to trick the audience writing. It wasn't the organic The Walking Dead that we were used to. That character driven, organic kind of led writing, character led writing. Rashida says, Constant, yes, only the intelligent people have to use their imagination with Rick and Michonne being domestic with each other. Constant said, yep, you're right. Different take. He would have been just as deeply in love with Michonne whether or not Laurie lived. Been saying it forever. Michonne is the love of his life. It's just that simple. Yes, Constant. Andy said it. Denise Huth, the executive producer from episode 1, season 1, episode 1, said it. Said no doubts about it. It's Michonne. He's in love with Michonne, and Andy said it. She's the greatest. He said it. She's the greatest love story of his life, and she is the love of his life. So, yeah. So the people who think if Laurie was around, Michonne would have a chance, they would be in for the shock of their life, and they would be shocked not because they were paying attention, but because what they want doesn't line up with reality. They would be exposed as being delusional. Diane says in season 6, episode 1, Erin told Rick they had the 2 side-by-side houses. I remember Carol and Carl went to investigate the other house. Yeah, I remember the 2 houses, but I remember Rick saying to Carol and Daryl that they could leave and tell the others they can go leave and find a place. And everybody left, and it was just Rick, Michonne, Carl, Judith that they kept showing, and what's his name? Noah's clothes was in the hamper, but I don't know where he lived. Maybe Michonne was doing his laundry for him. Okay, so Michonne asks Deanna about the plans that Deanna gave to Rick.
They could work. Even now.
So Michonne is telling Deanna, I get it now. I get it. The plans you gave Rick, of the future you saw for Alexandria, it can work. And Deanna said, even now, with Alexandria overtaken by the horde, Michonne said, yeah, even now.
The Latin in the margins, what was that? Huh. It is something Reg used to say when things went really, really badly. I'm lucky, Michonne. Working with my family towards a better future. This is all I ever wanted. That's what I got. I got to do what I wanted right up to the end. What did you want?
So Deanna said she got what she wanted. She got to work for the future with her family right up to the end. And then she looked at Michonne and said, what do you want, Michonne? And Michonne says, I want this place to work. And that's what she told she wants this to work because that's what she wants for the group. She wants it for the group, and she wants it for her little family that she has with Rick, even though she's not seeing clearly that this is more than just a family. This is actually her family with Rick, Judith, and Carl is literally her family. But she wants it to work. She wants Alexandria to work. And she says that to Deanna.
This place to work. Yes, but what does that mean for you?
Deanna said, what does that mean for you? So Deanna clocked it, and poor Michonne, she's not seeing it yet. Sasha saw it. It worked for you. It worked for you. Michonne was like, what is she talking about? Michonne was like, what? It worked for me. What worked for me? It worked out for you. You can't tell me what to do. Ah. Hey, what's up, Jesse? We're talking about you.
What did you want for you? I don't know.
Michonne says she doesn't know.
You better.
And Deanna say you better. So, and that's the truth. Michonne didn't know because she had a wall here. She thought, okay, I want my group to be okay, and I want the babies to have a place to grow and be nurtured. But for herself, what does she want for her future? She doesn't know because she's blocked that off. So she has to let her walls down. See, even that, we didn't get to hear Michelle. We didn't get to hear Michonne talk to Rick about why she couldn't see it and why she had her walls up and her heart blocked. We didn't get that luxury yet. We get it for every little side character. We get it for Tara. We get it for Denise. We get it for everybody, you know? But Michonne, everybody gets to assess their emotional ties and needs and their what's going on with them romantically, but Michonne doesn't get that, and Angela Kang fills up Rick and Michonne's coming together episode with mostly her, featuring her favorite Daryl mostly. Yeah, we love Daryl and people love Daryl, but this is Rick and Michonne's moment. Yeah, Jesse, not you, Jesse, but there's a character Jesse in the show that we're reacting to The Walking Dead. And there we were discussing a character named Jesse. So I was just kidding. I was just trolling you. Who is Carl following? Ron? Oh yeah. Into the garage. Oh gosh, these two. Well, not these two. Ron.
Hey. You alright, man? Enid's dead. We're all dead. Look, my dad's gonna figure something out. He always does. That's bullshit. Your dad's just gonna get more people killed. Because that's what he does. That's who he is. Your dad's a killer. So was yours.
Ooh, good comeback, Carl. Ron, Carl was telling Ron that, you know, Ron is saying Carl was saying, "Are you okay?" And Ron is saying, "Enid is dead. Everybody's dead. We're all gonna be dead." And Carl is saying, "No, my dad's gonna figure it out." And Ron is like, "BS. Your dad is gonna all get us killed. That's who he is. He's a killer." And Carl came back with, "Well, so is your dad."
We need to work this out. I'm dead, Carl. My mom is dead. My brother is. No, they're not. We're gonna make it. You're dead. You're dead too. We're all dead.
That was quick. That was quick acting by Carl, grabbing and here the fool bringing the walkers to the garage. Rick hears that.
What happened in here? We were looking for tools and I took a shot.
We heard yelling.
Yeah, Ron saw him break through the gates. We had to move. That's what happened. Oh, there's nice days in my mom's room. Nice to couch.
Hey, it sounded like you were fighting.
Yeah, you're fighting them. Carl? It's okay. It's okay.
Rick knows Carl isn't telling the truth.
Listen, I the gun first. Carl, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Now give me the gun. Look, man,
So
I get it.
so Carl got the gun from him. That was smart of Carl, but Carl, tell your dad. You see? Hmm. It where did, if Carl got the gun off him, because I saw Ron pick up the gun in the garage. If he got the gun off him, where did he get that gun in episode 9? Hmm. Don't tell me. I want to see where he got, because right now I'm like, oh, okay. So, because I was like, oh, he picked back up the gun in the garage while they were running. But Carl went after him and got the gun from him. I didn't even know about that. So I'm curious to see how he got back another gun. Rashida says, Di- Diana, it was season 5 when Aaron said that, but how many houses are empty? Ron got that gun from Olivia when she was guarding the weapons. He made a mess in the kitchen. Yeah, but it fell in the garage and he got it back when he was fighting you remember Carl rushed him and it fell. And so he got it back up. So Carl took it from him. So where did he get another gun in episode 9? Right? He had a gun. So I thought this was a gun, but Carl took it. So we'll see. We'll see. Good point, Rashida, about it. That was season 5 when they first moved, but they've become such a little part of the community now that maybe they gave them more homes because there were other empty houses. Oh, they show that in the next. Diane says they definitely show that in the next episode. So I'm thinking Diana is talking about how Ron gets another gun. Good. Thank you, Diane. Let's move on.
My dad killed your dad, but you need to know something. Your dad was an asshole.
Your dad was an asshole.
They knocked the sculpture over.
All that noise. Let's try more.
I'll get her.
Rick thinks Deanna went to eat Judith.
I'm sorry.
I,
I'm sorry.
I wanted to see her one last time. I thought I could make it. My legs had other plans.
Judith sitting watching them. I was like, what's all this fuss about?
You and plans.
They're yours now.
From now on, someone needs to be with you. It can't be her.
Yeah.
I'll find someplace else to put her.
Rick. I wrote something for Spencer, for Maggie.
I'll make sure they get him.
Will you look out for him?
I will.
Will you look out for him like you look out for your people? Guess what? They're all your people, Rick. They are.
We haven't had a chance to make it that.
You see how Deanna asked Rick if he would look out for Spencer like he would look out for his people, and Rick didn't answer her? she knows that he will do anything for his people. But you see the difference in how she sees who Rick is, and then the question that Puppy Dog Face asked Rick, would you do this for anyone else? Right? She wouldn't have to ask that if she knew who Rick was. And then for Rick to boldface lie to her and she doesn't see that's a lie. And Rick couldn't even lie to Deanna. He didn't, he was like, well, he wouldn't answer. And she's like, he is one of you now, Rick. Look out for him, like, you know? And he said, we haven't made it yet. It hasn't happened yet where he's one of us, you know? And Deanna said, yes, he's one of you. She's trying to convince Rick to see Spencer and the Alexandras as one of them so that Rick will protect them, you know? And you have that I was going to say idiot woman, but I don't like to call people idiots, but itty boo woman believe in Rick saying, "Oh yeah, I would not do anything. I would not protect any of my group that I live with that I fought with and been with and protect." Yet she expected him to protect her, just her and nobody else. This woman is a dingbat. How on earth could people think Rick could be a ding? Rick Grimes would be with a dingbat. Come on. He wouldn't even be with Andrea, who he knew. But she's a dingbat. He couldn't be with her. Yet he's going to be with a dingbat he doesn't know. Jesse says, how much do you earn from YouTube? Zero, Jesse. I earn nothing from YouTube. Zero. Cam J says the scene is approaching. It happened when Rick was about to smear the guts on Jesse, and she said she would do it. Okay, all right. So point it out to me, Cam J. Tell me what it is when it gets here. Okay. That scene, Rashida says that scene with Jesse smearing the guts on her is hilarious. She still has that puppy dog look on her face. Diane says it's also when she cemented her bad mother title. So wrapped up in Rick explaining how he would once again save her. She forgot all about Sam until he came out of his room and said, Mom. Whoa, Diane. That woman. Oh my gosh. Talk about self-absorption. Cam J says, yes, but her words were those of someone thinking about her older son. Yes. Sorry. I think I need some water. Yes, Cam J. Yeah, I get what Deanna is saying. And that's what I'm saying. She makes sense. Like Jesse was not making sense. How could you ask Rick Grimes that? Right? That's who he is. And Deanna wants him to be that for her son, but you have this itty boo saying wanting Rick to tell her he would not protect anyone else, just her. Does that make any sense?
That's how it is. I didn't run over to help you out there because I like you. Or because I think you're a good man, a good father, or that you can grow one hell of a beard. I ran over to help because you are one of us. That's the right answer.
Most people got inside their houses, there's that. You think this is it? What? Do you think this place is over? No. I think we gotta earn it, all of us. Whether it's waiting, knowing if everyone's safe, dealing with that, or fighting them. A place like this has gotta have a price, right? We haven't paid it already. Apparently not. Feels like Abraham's dead. That's what it feels like. He's not dead. How do you know? Because I didn't see it. Doesn't matter what it feels like, he's not dead, and this place isn't over. Hey, we're here.
Thank you, Rashida.
So what are we gonna do? We're just... Let me get in there. See what's happening on the other side. We can shoot out this lock. We shouldn't waste a bullet.
You won't need to. Lockpicking is within my skill set. You all right?
Just resting my eye.
Carol?
I want to get back to the house Rick and Michonne are in. I'm just not interested in the Carol Morgan saga. Oh, here we are.
There's just too many of them.
You saw that? So Jesse had called Rick, and when Rick got downstairs, he saw that they were breaking through the barrier to get in. And Michonne called out and said, everyone get upstairs now, because they also were coming through another door. And so everyone, Rick says, come on. And everyone ran upstairs. And then Michonne started fighting off the ones that, killing the walkers that came through the second door. But Rick stayed downstairs and waited for Michonne. And then Michonne saw that she couldn't handle all of them, because they were coming. So she ran towards Rick, and Rick stood there and had his hand blocking her and saying, what did he say? Hold on. Rick called out to Michonne, come on, come on. And then he stayed downstairs waiting for her, screaming at her, come on. And when she came to him, he sort of like, put his arm protectively, like to have her go behind him. Rick is always looking out for Michonne. Remember, even at Terminus, he kept circling around her and Carl. He wasn't just protecting Carl, he was protecting Michonne. He always made sure that he was on the outside of them. Here, everyone ran upstairs. Michonne, Rick was not going to leave Michonne alone down there, and he yelled at her, "Come!" And he stayed down and protected her. I'm telling you, he loves his Mishy. I'm gonna show you the scene. I love it so much. And guys, I haven't seen this episode in forever. So when I say I love it so much, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm really reacting to what I'm seeing, not what I remembered. So this is like, some of it is just refreshing to me, because even the first time I watched it, I don't remember seeing or noticing that. So this is amazing. I'm reacting to it with my thoughts not even curated before. I'm reacting to what I'm seeing here. So, yeah. Look at how Rick protects Michonne.
There's just too many of them. Everyone get up there! No!
I got this one. You get the one behind it. We're gonna need at least two.
You see that? When they ran upstairs, he made sure he put his hand around her, shield her, and then
Get away from him.
he made sure he's the one facing the walkers. She's behind him. Rick is not gonna let anything happen to his Mishy. Carla Morgan. Tell me when it's over.
This could have waited. It should have. Now it can't. You stay here. You see any more squeezing when you get me.
We're gonna need bed sheets. Enough for everyone.
Bed sheets for what?
We all go to the armory.
How?
We're gonna gut these things. Cover ourselves with the insides. It'll mask our smell, make them think we're like them. I've done it before. We stay calm. We don't draw attention. We can move right through them.
They're in the house. They're making noise. More are coming.
Anyone who stays here is gonna die.
What about Deanna?
You don't need the knife.
Did he say it yet, Cam J?
We can talk.
Did she say?
This is over.
We can be better.
And what is it specifically I'm looking for again? She's something about she's gonna say something that. Please refresh my memory, Cam J. What is it that we're looking for that Jesse says, and why are we looking for it? I know I understood it back then, but I don't remember. Hi, Gustavo.
Ma'am,
You are better than
not if we kill.
they made us kill. We had to stop it. I had to stop it.
With life, there's possibility. Even if we never let him out.
I'd get out.
Even if we never let him out, he could know what he's done. He could know.
I don't want to have to kill you, Morgan.
You won't.
I will.
You can't. I won't let you.
What's happening out there?
They're getting in. The rest of us, we're gonna have to go. If you want me to,
I'll. Not ready. Not yet. I will be. Soon. And when I am,
Okay, so Cam J said when Ricky was about to smear the guts on Jesse, and she said she would do it herself. So what is it we're looking for, Cam J? You said, oh, you said she said something. The only time she said something emotionally intelligent. Is that what it is?
I'll do it myself. It's my life. Start to finish. The Lord he TV protivit only.
what does it mean?
Someday this pain will be useful to you. Go. They need you.
Thank you.
For what?
For believing.
I still believe. I cocked it all up. But I figured it out. What do you want?
What do you want, Michonne?
Now you figure it out.
Said, figure it out, Michonne. What is it that you want?
I will.
She said she will.
Good. Give him hell.
I love Deanna. She was so kind to Michonne, you know? Uh,
You need to move. You and me.
I'll do it.
Huh?
she forgot about Sam. gosh. Diane says Deanna seems to know Michonne is in love with Rick. You think so, Diane? I don't know. I know she knows they belong together, and she sees that they love each other. Maybe she's wondered what's the holdup, and maybe that's what she sees. She's trying to nudge Michonne to see to whatever is blocking her to unblock it so that they could be together. Why didn't she say that to Rick? You know, because maybe Rick made his feelings for Michonne clearer to her. She see that Rick is open and willing, and she sees that Michonne is the one that's blocking. You know, maybe I wish we had more scenes with them. Well, we did have scenes with Deanna, Rick, and Michonne when she's talking to to Rick, and then she offers Rick a job, and then you know Rick asks Michonne. You know, she sees Rick always um looking out for Michonne, like checking in with Michonne's feelings. So I think she sees that Rick has feelings for Michonne, that Rick isn't hiding. Rick isn't hiding his feelings and his concern and his connection, because every time she proposes something to Rick, Rick looks to Michonne and like checking in with her, not for permission, but if she's okay or if she wants something. So I think you're right, Diane. I think Deanna clocked that one, they're in love, and that Rick is open about it. But Michonne, you know, she's so focused on the place working. Maybe she's like, why aren't they together? And maybe you know, watched them and she finally clocked because Rick is open. So maybe she clocked that Rick is open, but Michonne, maybe if Rick is open, what could be the roadblock? And probably she figured it out. It has to be Michonne because Rick is open. He's always extending concern and reaching out to Michonne. And just like when she walked up to them with the plans, you know, it's like she sees Rick's hesitancy and Michonne not hesitant, but Rick isn't fighting it. And then every time she has a meeting with them, as I said, Rick is asking, "What about you?" And you know, and then Michonne is like, "Okay, you know, yeah, I want. I think Rick, what Rick said, is this what you want?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I think Deanna clocked them. So you could be, yeah, I think you're right, Diane. Hi, Sherry. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Don't be sorry if it's Sherry says, hi, everyone. Sorry for joining late. Glad to be a part of this. We're so happy to have you, Sherry. Happy to have you. And don't worry about being late. I was late. Rashida says, Camj says that she just said, I'll do it. Oh, so that's it, Camj. Yes. Now I get it, Camj. Okay. Rashida says, remember Deanna said she would have been a poker player, so she sees it. And Michonne, that he, that she's into Rick. I, I don't think she sees that she's into Rick. She sees that they love each other and that they're partners. And she identifies that partnership because she has it with her husband. You know, she loves Reg deeply, and she sees that partnership. She sees that partnership with Michonne and Rick. They're always, that's why she gave them the same jobs together, because she clocked the partnership. And she has that partnership with Reg, or had that partnership with Reg. And along with the partnership was a deep love. So I think because she recognizes Rick and Michonne in her and Reg, that's why she was so quickly able, other than being a poker player and being able to read people, she quickly identified their partnership to be more than professional, because that's what she had with Reg. So she could pick up the nuances uh quickly. And as I said, Rick was more open. Whenever Deanna met with Rick and Michonne, Rick was very open with fielding things towards Michonne, asking Michonne's asking if Michonne was okay with something, if she wanted something. So Deanna clocked his feelings. I think she clocked also that Michonne had a wall. So that's why she's pushing for Michonne. Figure out what you want for yourself. So Constance said, see, we needed the writers to do more for the buildup of Michonne after Alexandria, especially after Jesse. Just more organic, alone time bonding. Yes, even during the story with Jesse, it didn't even to be after Jesse. And then, because the episode that we had after Jesse and they became a couple, that episode, a lot of it could have been that, them talking. But she gave the Angela Kang gave a huge slice of the episode to Daryl. It could have been it could have been Rick and Michonne on the what you call it? What they go out to scavenge? Yeah, it could have been Rick and Michonne, but she wanted Daryl is Angela Kang's favorite character, so she gave a lot of Rick and Michonne's episode to Rick and Daryl. Just like she gave the last shot of Rick's last episode, the last shot between the last shot of Rick's goodbye to the group, she gave it to Daryl instead of Michonne. Yet in the ones who live, when Andy, Denai, and Gimple are in charge of the show running and the writing, what Rick hears at the bridge is Michonne. What Rick remembers about the bridge is Michonne. Yet Angela Kang chose to, or it could be the director. It could be the director chose to make the lingering shot, the last shot of Rick's separating from the group, to be Daryl. Yet when Andy had a say, he gave that back to Michonne, because that's what the thing that Rick remembered, the thing that haunted Rick was not that last shot of Daryl's look. It was Michonne's devastation. And that should have been the last shot.
You need to listen to me, okay? We aren't safe here anymore. Okay, we need to do this so that we can be safe out there. We need to look like the monsters. No, please. Yes, honey, we have to go. Okay, we have to, Sam. Honey, just pretend you're brave. Okay? Just make it all pretend. Okay, none of this is real, and you're somebody who isn't afraid.
We'll kill you.
Same
Kill him.
Same puppy dog expression throughout that whole dialogue.
Because I don't want anyone else to die.
You should kill me. But you're all going to die. You don't belong here.
Tell me you're sure. You tell me you know what'll happen, how it will go. Step aside. I'm not asking you again.
Rashida says, Preet's sister, correct. That parting shot of Daryl crying when Rick was supposed to have died really ticked me off. It should have been Michonne. Cam J says, I forgot she made that dumb speech that Sam should pretend. All with puppy dog eyes. Expressions.
We have to go.
Oh, I remember something. I remember something. This shot right here. I'm going to share it with you guys. I remember when I was watching The Walking Dead the first time, when this shot happened, there were a lot of people, especially Rick and Michonne fans, not especially Rick and Michonne fans said, oh, that is a foreshadowing. And it's the shot with Rick and Michonne looking over the balcony. They have on the cloak, the walker guts on them, but then someone peeked in between them and everyone says, okay, that's not everyone, but Rick and Michonne's fans who are very hella intelligent and have a lot of media literacy, saw the shot and said, okay, Rick and Michonne are coming. And not only are Rick and Michonne coming, but they're going to be married. This is the shot. So I do remember that. I forgot all about that. Before I show you, let me see what you said. Oh, constant laughing. Okay. It's just these two Idibus fighting. Okay, guys, look at this shot. Very important.
We have to go. We're ready.
Did you guys see?
Mom?
Did you see who come and looked in between them?
We're ready. We're ready. We have to go.
I want to freeze frame it to show you. It's harder to do on my iPad. Hold on.
To go.
This is a shot. The priest between Rick and Michonne. Do you see it? Yeah, that was a big deal. The first time it aired, they were like, "Oh my gosh, Gabriel is between Rick and Michonne. Rick and Michonne are gonna get married." And I remember, yes, a lot. Some fans, the some fans were saying, "You Michonne fans are delusional." Rick and Michonne are not getting together. Don't you see Jesse and Rick are in love and Jesse's going to be the new Andrea. See how she fought off the walker and she has the blonde hair. They're going to make her the new Andrea. That's please. You guys are so delusional. And guys, since then, since this shot, uh Gabriel has been a constant between Rick and Michonne in the sense that when Rick had his dream on the top of the RV, the dream of the future of how he thought, you know, things would go when Negan was torturing him, and he had that dream where Michonne was walking towards a table and she had a bottle of champagne in her hand and she had that flowing white gown on. Not a, you know, it's like a bohemian um dress, but it was flower patterned, but it was very flowy. And Rick joined her and held her hand and brought her to the table, and he sat her down. And beside, he had Michonne on his right, and on his left was Gabriel. And then the rest of the family, and then you had Sasha and a pregnant Sasha and Abraham, and Glenn with his son. And everybody knew that that was Rick's dream for the future, where he was marrying Michonne. That was supposed to be their wedding dinner, you know? And so since then, what's his name? Gabriel has been a thread in Rick and Michonne's story in a terms of, because Rick is always envisioning marrying Michonne. He was obsessed with getting married to Michonne. So he already saw her as his wife, but he wanted to make it official. And Gabriel was that key. And so the scene with the on top of the RV, and then there were other and we know that in The Ones Who Live, he was the only aside from Jadis, who took Rick, so she was gonna be a part of it. The only other Walking Dead character that was featured in The Ones Who Live was Gabriel, who, as Diane said, this Gabriel verified it in The Ones Who Live. Gabriel verified that Rick spoke to him and told him that he wanted to get married to Michonne on the bridge. He wanted to get, and so Rick wanted to marry Michonne and spoke to Gabriel about it, and Gabriel found a ring for them. And so there it is. From the they're like, you people are delusional. Everything you see is Rick and Michonne. There's gonna be no Rick and Michonne, you dummies. So, and there we have it. So frame that picture. That was, yeah, Rick always wanted to get married. Always wanted to get married to Michonne. And as Diane said, Gabriel confirmed it. Rick asked him to marry them. And he saw in his heart, in his life, in his mind, Michonne was his wife. He always saw her as his wife, but he wanted to have a ceremony with her, to proclaim it to the world that this is his wife. And as you saw when he was at the CRM, you know, he told everyone, that's my wife, that's my wife, that's my wife. You know? So even that was taken from him. He didn't get to have that ceremony. But we saw what episode was it? Episode 6. Rick did the ceremony himself. That was that was diabolical of Rick. He made that ceremony as sensual as could be. And remember the first proposal. The proposal that Rick gave to Michonne was the first proposal where she didn't know that he intended for her to be his wife was when he asked her in Claimed. Was that the episode name? Claimed. To raise Carl with him. So from then, and then the official Will You Marry Me was the episode at the carnival where they had their we called it the honeymoon episode, when they went on a scavenger hunt together for the guns, remember, to give to Jadis and her group. That was his first official. He proposed at first, but then this was the official will you marry me, be not just help me raise Carl, but will you be my wife, will you love and honor me forever, cherish me forever. That was the first proposal. And from then Rick to in Rick's mind they were married, but he wanted to share it with the world, and he wanted Gabriel to marry them. In the apocalypse, you see how in love Rick is? Yeah. And as I told you, he never claimed Jesse publicly, not once. So none of the group saw them as a couple, because he never claimed her. He just, honored his word to her, because she wanted, you got rid of my husband, you better be there for me and my kids. So he honored that reluctantly, but he didn't claim her. Cam J said, I believe you're referring to After, episode 9, season 4. After. What happened in After? Episode 9, episode 4, season 9. Yes, that's the episode where they went on their scavenger hunt. Rashida says, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, episode 5, he proposed to her, episode 6. He put the wedding ring on her finger. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. He proposed again. He did a second will you marry me proposal. So the first proposal in Claimed was, will you be a family with me? Will you help me be a partner with me, a family with me to help raise Carl? Season 4, episode 9, as Cam J said, was his first marriage proposal. And The Ones Who Live, Rashida is right, episode 5, season 1, episode 5 is his second marriage proposal. And episode 6, Rashida, it's not the proposal, but it's the ceremony. That's the wedding. He never got to have a wedding ceremony. He dreamt it. He spoke to Gabriel about it, but he couldn't wait any longer, and he literally had a wedding ceremony with her in episode 6, that's when he put the ring on her finger. That was his ceremony. He was saying, you're mine, I'm yours, and you are mine. And he physically, literally performed that with his body. He performed the wedding ceremony and said, he claimed her. He's like, you're mine and I'm yours. And he literally did it, the ceremony, with his body. So The Walking Dead season 7, the carnival scene, will Rick asks Michonne to marry him. Yeah, that was the first wedding proposal, marriage proposal. That was the first marriage proposal. Diane says Rick asked Michonne to help raise Carl in season 4, episode 11. They were apart in 4-9 until the final scene. So it's 11. See, so it's not episode 9, it's episode 11. Okay. That's claimed, right? Claimed. Okay.
We're ready. Ron?
Yeah. I'll get Judith, Rick. I'm not gonna give up out there. I will not turn back, no matter what happens. I know.
Please. Please don't.
Don't what?
Don't kill them. You said they were already dead. You said I was. You don't need to kill us. Just let us die. Just let us die. You are so full of shit.
You're what I like about people.
Tara.
Just be still. Lower the guns. Lower the guns. Good. Slide them over. I want them.
The wolf has Denise.
You don't need her.
No. I don't. Back. Back.
You're not gonna make it out there.
Oh, that guy's teeth is so disgusting. Oh, it's nasty. Oh, Judith. Watch. What's her name? Jessie checking her gun like she's some badass. Like, no wonder the delusional ones were like, yeah, this is gonna be Andrea and whatever. Like, was that necessary? Rashida Rashida said Jessie has no facial expression, even checking her gun. My goodness. That scene was so unnecessary. Like, why is Rick giving Carl Judith was necessary to put her under his thing so that when he's out there, people are like, where won't go, where's Judith? Why is it we spent so much time watching Jessie check her gun? Oh, is that where the gun comes from? Because I'm like, why was that necessary? If it wasn't, if that's not where Ron's gun comes from, then that scene was unnecessary, very superfluous. But if it has a reference to where Ron got the gun from, then I can see. So from what Diane said, that's not where Ron got his gun. Checks her gun and then later never pulls it out. Exactly. Exactly. Exactamonte. Oh my gosh. Oh, Glenn sees Maggie across the way. And Deanna with her little gun. What is she? This scene made no sense. She wasted all her bullets on just a couple of them, and then they're gonna tear her to shreds with their teeth. That's a horrific death. I wouldn't. I would. And she's just standing there screaming at them. That scene was just like, what? Really? You'd rather them tear you to pieces, have a slow death? She did, Cam. I don't remember what she was doing in the next episode. So let's see. Rashida says, on the porch, Jessie looked like she's about to cry or is constipated. That's her look. Rashida said, here comes Sam with his famous line. Let's see. Okay. I stopped it. Michonne looks determined. And Carl is looking at Rick. Rick looks at Carl. I'm sorry. The acting is so bad here. Oh my gosh. That look. Gabriel, is like looking, checking everything out, looks suspicious and worried at the same time. Mom! 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 Oh, wait. It's not over. Hold on. Oh, there's an after scene because I was like, wait a second. It's the credits is going, but I see more time on it. Mom, mom, mom. That reminds me of, have you guys ever seen the Family Guy episode with Stewie? Mom, mom. Oh my gosh, mom, mom. So this was the scene with Negan's, the Saviors, Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham, where the Saviors started the war. I love when people say that Rick's group started it. No, the Saviors started the war.
down.
Yeah, I see. What in the holy shit?
Why don't you come on out? Join us in the road. You know, if you want to resist, try something. I mean, it's a choice, I guess. But we will end your asses. Split you right in two. Straight through to the sinuses. So come on. Oh, that's great. Going well right out of the gate. Now, step two. Hand over your weapons.
Why should we?
Well, they're not yours.
What?
See, your weapons, your truck, the fuel in your truck, if you got mints in your glove compartment, if you got porn underneath the seat, change in the seats, hell, the seats themselves, the floor mats, your maps, little stash of emergency napkins you got there in the console. None of those things are yours anymore.
Whose are they?
Your property now belongs to Negan.
Okay, so that was that. Your property belongs to Negan. Oh my gosh. The worst arc in The Walking Dead is upon us. But yeah. Oh really? Deanne says Rashida says that's why your day was your nails on a chalkboard. Diane says there is a post-credit scene that was first shown in another show that aired after The Walking Dead. Really? What show did it air on, Diane? Cam J says when Enid helped her to safety, Maggie started to make noise to drive them back to her and Enid. Oh, okay. That's annoying. Rashida says Abraham's line. Yeah, that's funny. Abraham has those one-liners. But yeah, they were hyped about the Negan storyline. I'm telling you, they were so hyped about it. I'm not talking the fans, but the producers and the writers, and they thought Negan was the be all and end all for The Walking Dead, and it turns out to be the death of The Walking Dead. uh the Badlands, really? Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, they thought they had a superstar on their hand and they thought The Walking Dead had finally arrived when all they were getting ready to do was kill the show by handing it over to this stupid character, which they refused to end his arc. And it killed their show. So, well. So, wow, we got through episode 8. So we're finally at the end, guys. So as soon as I'm able to, I'll try to edit that video that I recorded, put it up on Patreon, and then I'll start trying to edit those comparison videos. To do as shorts, like, different, Laurie versus Michonne, and how Rick handled a situation, and how with Laurie versus a similar situation with Michonne. And there's not much with Jesse, because Rick wasn't with Jesse, really. He wasn't really with Jesse, so there's not much to compare. But that and non-reciprocation, I can show you a scene with Michonne where there was lots of reciprocation. So stuff like that, nuggets like that, I'm gonna start, because I'm getting ready to do the Rick and Michonne, and that's gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna do it in different ways, different facets. So yeah. So, guys, anything you want to share? I spoke, mostly about. I said everything that I wanted to say through the reaction. That's why it took forever. So, but if you guys have anything else you want to share about the episode or your thoughts about what what's happened in the series so far or this arc. Oh, thank you, Rashida. And anything you guys want to share with me about the channel or what you think I should do or what you don't like about it, what I should improve about it or whatever, anything you guys want to let me know. I welcome your suggestions and opinions. Oh, thank you, Rashida. And yeah, I'm trying to edit down the live to post on Patreon. So if you want to watch the reaction with not much of the superfluous stuff, but the one with Morgan, I left in some things that were not about The Walking Dead because it there were decent discussions, but it didn't stray too far from what we were discussing. So for that episode, for 6-4, I left in some of our live discussion, but it's, edited where there's much pause and breaks and, arms and ooms and, like how I love to, you just go on and, go on. I edit it down where it's more digestible. That's what it is. So when I'm in the middle of editing that one, when I'm finished, I put it on Patreon. And I will edit episode 5, but I'll edit the Rick and Jesse talk that I had first. So put that on Patreon. Then I go back to episode 5, and then I'll continue editing the lives so that it's more digestible portions. Do you guys want me to do a reaction for episode 9 Sunday or Saturday? If it's Saturday, it would be later in the evening versus Sunday. I think I can do it more in the, early evening or late afternoon because I want to finish up this arc sooner than later. Do you guys would you like me to do another live tomorrow or actually tomorrow? Yeah, it would have to be late because someone just texted me. As I tell you, I get anytime I do a live, everybody wants to contact me. Someone just texted me and asked me if I could take them to the airport. So I don't even know what time their flight is. So if I do a live tomorrow, it will be late. Rashida says, I watch both with your chatter and on Patreon. Oh, I love you, Rashida. I love you. Thank you so much. I love you. Cam J says, I like the lineup with Rick at the head and Michonne at the end when they exited the house. I didn't notice that. So everyone was between them. They were the two anchors. Great point. Great point, Cam J. The two strongest. The two baddest badasses anchoring the people in between. And the patriarch and the matriarch of the family. mom and dad. Rick and Michonne are mom and dad. Sherry says, yes, I'm on board with the Rick and Michonne videos. Looking forward. Yay. Thank you, Sherry. Hi, Black. Cam J said Saturday's perfect. Rashida says, I rewatched the Rick and Lori videos on Patreon. You are on point. Oh, thank you, Rashida. I cannot wait for you to do Rick and Jesse and Rick and Michonne. Do it on Sunday, another live at 7 on New York time. So Rashida says Sunday, Cam J says Saturday. Uber to the airport. Yeah, this is my friend's daughter. You know, I can't. I can't say, girl, go get an Uber. I can't do that. She's a sweetheart, you know. She doesn't ask me much, so I have no problem helping her. Rashida says, LOL, Cam J. Constance says, okay, tomorrow's late sounds good. I'm usually at work till 10, but can sometimes catch her live on break. Oh, great, Constance. Rashida said, two strong ones, one in the front, one in the back. Cam J said, I kid, Uber, because I hate asking for favors. Yeah, I hate asking for favors too, but you know, when you need help, you need help. So I've learned to ask because to me now, if the person says no, I'm not offended. So I ask because they say yes, yay. If they say no, I understand. I don't get offended. Cam J said, don't mind me. Rashida says, if you do it on Saturday, it's fine by me. Okay, Rashida. So, um, tentatively, tentatively, let's plan for Saturday evening. If it's getting late and I see that I can't make it, I'll do a quick note. I'll do a quick note for you guys. I'll put it on both places. I'll put it on YouTube and Patreon. I was gonna say Patreon, but I'll put it both places because um Sherry might join, and I want Sherry and anybody else who may join to find out. So if plans change, I'll let you know. So thank you guys. I can't wait. Let's finish this up tomorrow so that we can jump into Rick and Michonne, because when we finish, oh my gosh, guys, do I have to go through season, do I have to go through the Negan stuff, or should I just do Rick and Michonne episodes? Oh my gosh, this, I don't know, guys. Okay, I'll post it on Patreon also, Rashida. Uh, okay. So Constance says only do Rick and Michonne episodes. Sherry says just Rick and Michonne, please. Rashida says the Negan stuff is torture, but it has good season there, especially that scene with Olivia and Negan. Oh, Rashida. Okay, I'll do Rick and Michonne's episode, and if you request a specific episode that's not Rick and Michonne, I'll watch that. So if you want, like we're going ahead. So say we're on 611. So, no, say we're gonna do 611, and 611 is not Rick and Michonne, but the next episode is say 612 is Rick and Michonne, and I was gonna skip 611, but if you guys request me to do 611, I'll do it. So let's do that. Rick and Michonne, and see, Cam J says there are some Negan episodes that I think are key. So, okay. So you guys let me know. So we'll go ahead, and when we finish an episode, I'll say what's the next episode I should do next, and you guys tell me, and I'll do the next episode. And Rashida says she hopes Nor will join us. I know. Nor told me, make sure you tell me the day before. So I posted the day before, but as Rashida pointed out to me, I didn't put the date. I just say, I didn't realize I didn't put the date. So I don't know if Nor missed that. So I'm so sorry she missed it. Oh. Diane said 611 is Rick and Michonne. Yeah, I was just giving an example, Diane. So I was just like saying, if after like we finish 610 or whatever, 611, and the next episode is not Rick and Michonne, but you guys said no, this is key, I'll definitely do a reaction to it. Oh, no, I don't think so. Because she told me, she specifically told me she was so upset that she missed the last one, Rashida. So she said, please let me know the day before. So that's when I posted it, but duh, didn't post the exact date. So when I said tomorrow, I don't even know if I said tomorrow, but your post uh reply uh, notified me, Rashida, that the post that I put was half-assed, that it wasn't good. So Nor missed this, and I'm so sorry she did. Because we miss you, Nor. We love you and we miss you. Okay. So guys, so I'll see you tomorrow. Um, hopefully. And we'll continue with finishing up this episode. this arc. Cam says when dealing with multiple time zone, it's a good idea to use your date and time. Yes, Cam J. Oh, I have to get that in my head. Okay, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Happy birthday, Rashida. We love you. I hope you continue to have a wonderful birthday, and I wish you all the best. God's blessings and favor, protection and love shower over you. I love you. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow.